to the seas. My treasure is yours to find.
What is going on, everybody? Wired here. Hope you guys are having a wonderful, wonderful Wednesday. And today, again, I'm stepping out of my comfort zone, and I'm going to talk about the live-action One Piece, which I definitely would have thought would have been absolute garbage based on how anime has been treated in the past within the live-action sphere. Yeah, cite Cowboy Bebop, cite Dragon Ball Evolution, but astoundingly, I watched the entirety of One Piece, and although it's not, 100% manga accurate, I thought it was actually very good. I thought they actually really did justice to all the characters. I love all the Straw Hats. I think they casted it perfectly. And I think with the involvement of Ichiro Oda, they really kind of did try to focus it more on the narrative that it does portray in the East Blue Saga, which, for any of you who aren't weebs, would be the saga that begins One Piece, where Luffy forms the crew with Zoro, Nami, Usopp, and Sanji. Which brings me to this article. Love at First Sight. Is Netflix's most viewed title of the week. One Piece remains at #1 on TV Top 10. So like I said, I think they stay very true to it, and I'm glad for that. One Piece held onto the treasured top spot among Netflix's English language TV series for the week of September 11th to 17th. Monkey D. Luffy and his crew charmed their way to another 10 million views. The same week that the live-action adaptation of Ichiro Oda's best-selling manga was renewed for a second season, which I think that's awesome. I actually can't wait to see the second season. The series has now tallied about 48 million views since it launched on Netflix just under 3 weeks ago, which I guess for Netflix is very big. I have no idea about streaming numbers, but I think that's absolutely awesome. This has broken the curse of that animes cannot be adapted, or mangas can't be adapted into live action, which I still don't, let's not get it twisted here. I still don't think it's as good as the manga, which I still don't think is as good as the anime, which is still not going to be as good as the live action. But I think they did do an incredible job with casting, pretty much everybody on the show. I think Luffy is very Luffy, Nami's very Nami, Zoro's very Zoro, Usopp's very Usopp, and Sanji's very Sanji. And hopefully, since they're going to get a second season, they don't mess up Chopper or Robin. But for being a very cynical person myself, for thinking that they were going to absolutely 100% screw this up, I'm actually very happy to report that it was a pretty good watch. And I like seeing all of them, and I think everybody who was in this series did a very good job. Which brings me to my next article here. Netflix pays better than Disney Plus. This One Piece actor earned 5 times more than this MCU heroine. Which I'm going to guess this article they're talking about Roronoa Zoro. Netflix pays better than Disney Plus. In the live-action One Piece, he earns much more than many of the actors that have been the focus of their series for years. Well, he's also been in other series too, but let's continue. Since August ended, fans of One Piece couldn't watch this live-action adaptation on Netflix. No one would have predicted that this series was successful, me included, actually. But it has made fans worldwide aware that it has always captured the hearts of the fans. And I'm going to give a big shout-out to Ichiro Oda here for maintaining creative control, which I think is incredibly important, because everything that they did, they had to run by Oda. Every change that you have to make, which obviously you have to make some changes, you just do, they had to run by Oda. And Oda, the guy's a workhorse. He's very passionate about his story. Even if many changes were made compared to the original work, they remain somewhat cohesive and in accordance with the spirit of the manga. I would argue maybe not cohesive, but in the spirit of the manga, sure. The Scarlet streaming platform gives fans an incredible performance. There's a lot of criticism against those who criticize them for their lack of fidelity. And more importantly, One Piece often was considered an unadaptable piece with its richest universe and its extravagant characters. Which I'm going to say, Because of the devil fruits, it's probably only going to get more complicated as things go on, but so far they produced an amazing first season, so let's see where it goes. Nevertheless, producing a live action that is very popular with the Aziz, this word right here, Aziziers, can cost a lot. I don't know what, I have no idea what that means. I'm embarrassed to not know what I don't know. One Piece on Netflix would have paid a budget of $18 million per episode, making one of the most expensive series they have ever produced. If you want to get the idea, the cost per episode is higher than Game of Thrones or even The Mandalorian. This is part of the cost of a hit, and this is also the principal actor's salary, which is much higher than many serial actors. It's enough to spur jealousy. And I'm sure there are a lot of people who are jealous, which is why we're going to get into this piece with the She-Hulk actors. As with all the actors, Inaki Godoy, I hope I'm saying that right, who plays Monkey D. Luffy, received $320,000 for his role. Emily Rudd received $25,000 for the role of Nami. Taz Skylar and Jacob Romero Gibson, respectively, for being Sanji and Usopp, received $150,000. They wanted their hardest work to give the adaptation the chance of success, and also to pay close attention to the actors, which I think is probably a really great move by them. And also, they were in fewer episodes. Usopp was only in 6. Sanji was only in 4. Which I'm a huge Sanji fan. So I think they both knocked it out of the park. I think everyone knocked it out of the park. I think they did great. A part of the aesthetic universe is related to One Piece, news culture, blah, 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 blah. But what the whole problem is here is that the guy who played Zoro, which can I find his name here? It's a Japanese name. I don't know off the top of my head. Let's see here. Earns 5 times more than Tatiana Maslany, who plays the lead role in the show She-Hulk. More specifically, his salary is $220 per episode. Thus, he earned $22 million for the 10 episodes of the first season. In comparison to Tatiana Maslany, just won $500,000 for 9 episodes of her MCU series, which she's the principal role. Now, I'm going to say all these other people, they're unknown actors. I'm going to try to say this name right now. I'm going to butcher it. The guy who played Zoro. McKenyu. I hope I'm saying that correctly. He's obviously not Luffy. Although, even being a huge Sanji fan, I would say Zoro is probably the second most important role in terms of fighting. Maybe he doesn't really contribute to the crew that much, other than being a powerhouse. But he is the first mate, in the manga that's never been said. But my regard to that would be, so what? That Netflix actually wants to pay people for doing a good job. And I think he did a great job. I think everyone did. Jacob Romero, Taz Skylar, Nami, Luffy. I think all of them, they knocked it out of the park. I don't think you can actually find a better cast than the people who play it. And I've seen a lot of Netflix things where they're like laughing, they're having fun, they seem like they have a good time with each other. They seem like the crew, which is important. It really is. What did She-Hulk ever do? Nothing. So I would take that up with Disney, and I cannot await, season 2 of One Piece. Hope we're going to see Chopper. Hope we're going to see Robin. I think it's going to be actually awesome. I can't wait for it. I was very hesitant about this whole series, and now I think it's gonna slay. Anyway, that's all I got. Leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Thank you for listening this long, and I will catch you guys all in the next one. Later.